see if anything's gonna snag. Okay, this is going well.
Do you want to go to the other side while we hold it? Easy.
Oh man.
This is our 1976 Toyota Chinook. It's actually the world's first Land Cruiser Chinook that we built a few years ago in 100 days and drove it all the way to Patagonia. Once we brought it home, we got what I can only describe as a serious case of the might as wells. We needed to replace the wooden floor in the camper, so we had to take the camper off. And then we took the cab off, and then we discovered rust, and a lot of it. And honestly, if I had known how much work this was going to take, I might have not started. But thankfully we did, and we're approaching the finish line of this exhaustive process. I'm not a professional, at least not a professional fabricator by any means. So this has been a massive learning experience, and here you are along for the ride. So basically what's happened so far with the cab is a lot of cutting, welding, and grinding, and then cutting and welding and grinding, and then cutting and welding and grinding for about 3 months, it seems. We've cut out a lot of rust, and in its place, I have folded, shaped, hammered, and bent countless origami-shaped pieces to fit into their new homes and tack welded them into place. It's taken this long because A, we're learning, B, we're still trying to live our lives, and produce interesting videos aside from being stuck in the shop. So all of this has accumulated to a very busy life. We're not trying to do this again in 100 days. We're trying to do it right so that it's the last time.
Okay, so this has to come off for the turbo. Clean this up a bit. And the last one was done with a torch. So. I don't know if we need that stud there for anything, but I'll keep it there for now. This thing, I literally can't figure out how it comes off. It's like pressed in on this little uniball thing. And everyone else in the instructions are just like, pop off the windshield washer motor. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't pop off.
We're at the stage now that we've removed 99.9% of the rust on this cab. And I say it in that way because I'm not a fool to think I'm never ever going to see rust on this cab again. But I know the exhaustive and extensive effort that we're going to is going to save our sanity in the future and at least prevent it again for a long time.
Hand sanding. Okay, here's like a little before and after. There's a bunch of glue on the roof. So, before, after. It's a lot of work.
She's right. It's a massive amount of work, an investment of time. But we're investing in a truck that's taken us halfway around the world already. So it's time well spent, in our opinion.
So where we're at is basically all the welding is done, which is thrilling. All the welding on the cab anyway. There's a couple things I have to address, like these little pinholes here. But I don't want to cut all this out. So I actually had an idea. We're gonna blast the inside as best we can and then coat it, and then I was gonna just remove all the rust here, and then I was thinking about putting like a plaque almost, like getting it cut really nicely and then engraving in it, like, I don't know, like some kind of text I thought might be kind of cool, like kind of VIN style, but like more of like what the truck is, like kind of like a custom VIN plate, like right across there. One of my ideas. Finished cutting out kind of trimming the inside of the wheel wells here. I hopefully cleared enough for the turbo. We will find out once we put it back on. I might have to clear more, like up to that other line. We're trying to keep as much metal in here as possible. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I gotta finish some sanding, you know, basically get rid of all of the orange that you see. Finish sanding, and then, yeah, then we're gonna get ready to coat it. Epoxy primer. All right, I have an idea on how to move the cab around, but it involves taking the Land Cruiser on its first dump run. Not sure if the trailer's gonna fall off and take the back half of the frame with it, but stay tuned to find out. Well, the trailer didn't fall off, so that's great news. Now we gotta get this cab on the trailer, which should be the next, my next trick.
It's also really quiet in here, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, the thing's a weapon. Who doesn't love a good rusty 60 series?
You could go your way a bit.
Okay, yeah, rocker's like right on the rail now for me.
Yeah, that's the same.
Sweet. Okay, that was really easy.
Well, this feels like progress. I have wanted to blow off the grinding dust for months.
Hey, back to work on this thing. We've got all these little holes here from where the camper used to attach to the cab, and these were just rivets. It was literally just pop rivets. So we've got all these holes here, and I'm gonna weld them.
Basically, all the welding is done.
I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, but I'm just gonna prep it a little bit and then just kind of weld, fill the holes. Not too worried about this being like perfect, because we've got a different idea on how to seal the camper. We're not going to use rivets. So I've had to do this about 1,000,000 times, filling these little holes on this rust repair journey. And basically my strategy is I weld the tiniest little tacks all the way around first to kind of make it a bit stronger, and then slowly start working in, doing a little spiral like bzz, 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 and then the hole eventually gets smaller. And then you have this big ugly mountain of weld, and then you grind it all down, and then you won't see anything. So I've got to do that about 25 times. And then we have to figure out what to do with this fence. This part that I cut out used to come out rounded like this, and then the factory floor was a big curve here. So this isn't really doing anything. Most of the structure now is in the floor, but we're just losing space here, and in a small space, every inch counts. So I'm not sure what we're gonna put here, but I gotta cut it out because I don't like it. It's taking up too much space, and I'll have to figure out another fence, as I'm calling it, to put here. So yeah.
The more we look, the more we seem to find. Luckily, this is a small cab, so there's not that many more places to look to find things to cut out and replace.
Okay, just keep cutting more off.
Yep. I think.
Okay, so this is the basic plan. We got this half by half at metal supermarkets. So we're gonna go like that, and then like that underneath it, and then just a flat plate. I measured off the frame, so the floor is gonna be about here. So this is hopefully gonna sit right under where the floor is gonna be, and stop any flexing. Like I said, I think the most of the structure is in the floor, but they had this from factory, so we'll put our own version back.
Basically, all the welding is done.
Getting things ready to paint is kind of tricky because at this stage, we have to imagine everything that we want in the future. What I mean by that is, little tabs to hold things need to be welded onto the cab or welded into spots. I don't want to have to grind off our epoxy coating just to, weld a little tab on. So I did the best I could to kind of imagine what, I'm going to need in the future to hold wiring, to hold, I don't know, whatever we might need. So I welded some studs on the bottom of the cab to hold wiring close to the floor. And honestly, most of it has just been sanding and removing, the stuff that we actually don't need. When you think about building a small camper like this, our living space is only about 50 square feet. So that old fence thing that I call it, that I removed, is actually going to save us, quite a few inches, which could be a lot. That could be the difference of storing a camera or storing a jacket in a place that's easy to get. One of the many things that we learned from living in this truck for 17 months is that if something isn't easy to get, you're not going to use it.
I've lost track of how many times I think I'm about to weld the last piece. All the welding is done. Currently, I think this is the last piece, well, both sides. We're gonna cap off the rocker. I want to paint inside there though, so I'm gonna drill some holes in the back that I can cap, 3D print a little plug later. So I'll drill some holes in the back. So I'm gonna cap this for now. Spray some weld through primer in there first.
Oh, I'm so zoomed in. Sorry, I can't see that.
So we're gonna drill 3 holes, and we're gonna use those to coat the inside of the rocker, and I'll 3D print little caps for them. We'll do the same on each side.
At this point, we've done everything in our power to remove as much rust as possible. I think the only thing we haven't done is chemical rust treatment, which would involve dipping the cab in an acid bath. And I did buy some chemicals to try and do this in a small way, but we found the sandblasting and wire wheeling to be just as effective. And the coating that we're going to use, we think is going to be the strongest, most durable thing that money can buy, actually.
Freaking birds everywhere.
What we've decided to use for our main base coat is a 3-part epoxy primer. Well, it's 2-part. There's the epoxy primer, and then there's the hardener, and then a reducer because we're gonna spray it with a gun. We went this way because we believe this is going to be the strongest and most durable base coat for the future.
Do I have safety glasses on my head? Oh shit.
Are you filming? That's really cute, you guys. Oh! This is cool. Okay, we could go right there.
Nice. You don't have laundry at home, so. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
We are in the paint booth.
Which means magical things are about to happen.
Yes, magical things indeed.
We are really sick of looking at bare metal.
Yeah, big time.
So, it's time.
So we are all prepped and sanded. Everything is smooth and nice. And
Not everything.
Hey.
But the stuff that you're gonna see.
the important stuff
Yeah.
has all been prepped.
Yes.
And we are about to coat it. Epoxy primer. Bring it on. Epoxy primer, look at that.
We used the spray gun for all the large main surfaces, and then at the end I mixed some epoxy primer with just the hardener and took a brush and brushed all of the seams and welds just for some extra penetration into the little nooks and crannies.
Oh man, that feels so good. Not the burger, the painting. It's done. It's officially a rust-free cab. I'm just so overjoyed to say that. It's amazing. I'm so stoked. Now we have more work to do.
But the motivation is...
Yeah, that was just such a huge win to get that done, see some visual progress. Been waiting to do that for months. It was really good. Very happy.
This is how you stay motivated, everyone. Big moves like this. It's so exciting.
Been waiting on that one for a while.
Yeah.
What's the reward for good work? More work. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope by now we've earned your subscription. There's a lot more to come, so we'll see you next time.
Okay, since you guys stuck around, I'm gonna ask your opinion on something. It's a little afterthought iPhone video. Since we know that most of the rust in these hell spots was caused by the cowl, you know, little bits of mud and sticks and water getting through these little slots and getting stuck in this corner here, what do you think about covering this cowl up? The only thing it's doing is allowing air in here that passes through the vent into the dash. I checked, I don't think the heater core like vents into there. I don't think so. Maybe you know that the heater core needs air to come through here, and if that's the case, maybe I can make like a little like mini hood scoop looking thing so air can still get in this way but bits of sticks can't go in this way. Or I just cut a perfectly sized plate and glue it on there. So I don't know, I'm just trying to think of ways to prevent all of this happening again. Obviously the epoxy coat and all the rust repair is hopefully gonna do that. What do you think about covering the cowl?